Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Dividend Definitions. This is a very, very important episode, guys. This is about compounding. Probably one of the most important concepts to grasp here if you want to, make a lot of wealth for yourself, guys. This is incredibly easy to understand, but it is very important. Now, put simply, it is when your interests earn interests. All right, now that is put very simply, but we will explain here in a little bit more details. Now, traditionally, if you invest into a stock, you want that stock price to rise, but the value of your portfolio will increase linearly to that rise in stock price. Now, that is if there is no compounding going on. If there is compounding going on, if the stock is a dividend-paying stock, you're accumulating more shares as you go along. If you reinvest these shares into the company, as you go along, then there is compounding, and those extra shares keep earning more and more money as you compound. All right, so it's like a snowball rolling down the hill. So I'm going to give you guys a simple example here. On your credit card, let's say you have a balance of $5,000. Let's say you're paying an interest rate of 24% a year. So monthly it comes down to 2% for simplicity's sake here. Now, on the first month, your balance will increase by $100. So on the next month, your balance is now $5,100, and then it will increase by $102. And if you fast forward to the 12th month, then your balance is increasing by $124, guys. That comes down to an actual interest rate, an actual annualized interest rate of close to 27%, because you're no longer paying interest rates on that initial amount of 5,000, but you're paying interest rate on 5,000 plus 100, 5,000 plus 100 plus 102, and it goes along as you go along in time if you don't pay that balance. Okay, so let's look at how you can make this profitable for yourself. Let's take a look at our good old company stock ticker symbol ME. You remember that we have a PPS of 10, a price per share $10, and a dividend per share of 50 cents, which gives you a yield of 5%. Now, if you don't know what these terms mean, guys, you can take a look at the dividends definitions playlist and have a look there. Everything is explained. Now, let's say you own 1,000 shares, so worth $10,000. We're gonna take a look here at what happens if that company pays their dividend on a yearly basis, on a quarterly basis, or on a monthly basis. So I've put down years here, and we're gonna look at what happens to the balance, to your portfolio balance, during the end of every single one of those years. Now, in the first year, you get $500, so your balance goes up by $500. But as you go along, your balance increases by a little bit more year after year, and it comes down on the 20th year to $26,530. So that's pretty good. You've managed to gain 150%, so your value is now 250% of what it was initially. Now, if the dividend is paid quarterly, you have more and more compounding happening every single year. Instead of having one compounding cycle, all right, in 1 year, you have 4 compounding cycles in 1 year. So your balance actually increases by a little bit more every single time, and you can see a gap forming in between the two distribution types here, so that on the 20th year, you're actually up to $27,000, all right? Now, if they're paid monthly, you get even more compounding cycles into a year. Now, in this example, the difference isn't that striking, but in some examples, guys, the difference can become very, very, very significant, all right? So at the end of the 20th year here, you have $27,126, all right? So almost 3 times your initial investment. That is a significant return. Now, bear in mind, a company that pays a dividend on a yearly basis is exactly the same as a company that doesn't pay a dividend, but that their stock share increases by that same amount every single year. So if the company is worth $10 and their stock price increases by 5% every single year, it's the exact same thing, guys. So that's sort of the comparator here. Now, you're probably thinking, well, wait a minute here, hold on. What kind of joker is this guy? What kind of world does he live in? He's making so many assumptions. He's assuming the dividend, the price per share is unchanged. He's assuming the dividends per share is unchanged. And he's assuming that there are no trading fees. That's not real life. Well, bear with me here, guys. I will go into detail about every single one of these things and how they can affect compounding, but more importantly, how we can bypass them and make something that would seem disadvantageous actually very, very advantageous to us. All right, so instead of paying fees, how about discounts? That's right, actual discounts instead of fees. And instead of price per share staying the same, why not have it decrease? Would that be such a bad thing? Well, we're going to look at that in upcoming videos. And about the dividends per share, we looked at this already, guys, on the step number 2 about in the easy steps to get rich playlist. We take a look at the importance of selecting a dividend with increasing dividend growth. All right, if you haven't seen that video, guys, go check that out. But for now, this video we'll stop here, and we'll resume where we left off in the next video, guys. All right, so we'll look at different types of scenarios and how these scenarios can affect our compounding, and how we can sort of get the best compounding situation happening for ourselves. All right, so I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, don't forget to leave a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the upcoming videos.